Yo! Right, Betting Nation, this is going to be really, really quick because I want to go outside and play with the kids in the snow because we don't often get snows. So there. My begging to go outside. Oh, right. My kids are begging to go outside, right? So I'm going to be really, really quick here. And by the way, I've just done a podcast about the future of the podcast. So make sure you check that out, guys. Really, really interesting. It's not for anybody because I do talk about money. So people might not like that. But guess what? I've got to be true to me, and that's what I like. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Simple as that. Right. Okay, so I want to show you the 330 race because this is one of the podcast in-play trades today. Right, and we go to the 330 race at Lingfield and Isle of Avalon. That's the one we're going for. Right, so the reason why I got it, first of all, was I did a dob search. So my settings here are show me horses last 5 runs that have dobbed 80% of the time or more. So they have to have dobbed 80% of the time. In the green column, I'm saying show me horses in the last 5 runnings in the green column that have decreased in price by 75%. In the gold column, I'm saying show me horses that have decreased in price by 50%. And so you can quickly see there, right? So when you're seeing that all these ones have dobbed by 80% in the last 5 runnings, you can see so they've dobbed at least 80% in all the running, so you get 1 for 3 there. And so then you can quickly search by green and gold as well, because then you know that. And you can, all these are changeable anyway. So that's my settings. There was some more above this, but what I've done is they didn't suit my criteria because it was too short. So I just press across and that. That is such an interesting animal, by the way. I can't wait to watch that race. But it's not an in-play trade because we don't know too much about it. Right, so Isle of Avalon. So we have a look first of all, and we see here, my sister's just saying that basically her kids went outside and didn't last very long because it was too cold. Right, kids, right, 6.4 Betfair SP, went to a low of 2.52. Interesting, really, really interesting. 3.46 went to an in-play low of 2.62. 11s went down to 1.01 when it won and went up to 16s. Now for me, this is really interesting here because it says held up, in touch, ridden over 2 felons, soon outpaced. Now that looks a negative comments in running. However, you've got to remember the comments in running are based on the comments in running as a whole. It's not. I'm more interested in what happens in the early stages because that dictates the early in-play price movement, and that's what I'm interested in. And so when I saw that held up, held up in touch, ridden, soon outpaced. Well, I thought, well, how the hell did it go from 6.4 to 2.42 to 2.52 when it was soon outpaced? I'm interested in this one. And anyway, so I'll go to that screen in a second as well. It's 330, so I want to show you this replay. Here we go, and it's only wide outside. It's drawn in stall 10. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can sign up without showing you my details. Yeah, I can. So we sign up. I don't know why it keeps doing it. It's frustrating. Sign in. Right, come on. I'm going live. I'm not live, but I'm doing a video. Okay guys, sorry about that. You'll notice that I went down here because I had to pause it just then because I got a phone call from the wife and she's asking me what time I'm coming home to play with the kids. Soon. Right, so Isle of Avalon. This is the one that I was interested in. Stall 10, let's have a look at it.
She's now in.
Stall 10 there.
And she's in.
She's in. Did that look like it came out held up? No, the reason was held up is because look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, all them horses. Look, Luke Morris, is it Luke Morris? Yeah, Luke Morris is thinking, what the heck can I do? I can't stay on the outside because if I stay on the outside here, I am travelling a bigger distance because I'm on the outside around the bend. And look, he still can't get in, the horse is not having the perfect ride here whatsoever because he wants to go a little bit faster, but Luke Morris knows he has to get in behind the horses because he can't be 3 or 4 deep on the turn, because if he's 3 or 4 deep on the turn, then you are travelling a lot extra, and that is not good for anybody. So he had to pull in, he had no choice. That is why when you're drawn wide, it is a distinct disadvantage for horses on these round courses. Right, so hopefully I've explained that well. It's 1 mile 5 felons, so what we'll do is fast forward a little bit. And you can see this horse, I've watched the previous replays, this horse travels through its races really well. Look, you can see, double handful still. You see that these horses are starting to push away. This is why this horse trade, look, even taking a tug here. But you'll watch this horse on the outside here, coming up on the outside. This little bugger here, just blocks Luke Morris in a little bit. And I believe that, I'm not saying he would have won the race, but that is the reason why Luke Morris didn't get any closer, because he took his options away. Brilliant jockeymanship by this one. Let's have a look who that was, by the way. I don't actually know. Rob Hornby, right, or whatever you call him. Yeah, brilliant jockeymanship there, because he took the opportunities and options away from Luke Morris. And when a rider does that, that is negating one of the rivals. I think that's incredible jockeymanship. So taking a tug here, Luke Morris really should have been a bit more aware, if I'm honest. Hate criticising Luke Morris because Luke Morris is awesome. There he goes. He's come alongside and now he has got nowhere to go. And all of a sudden he's thinking, I'm in a spot of bother here. Still travelling well. But look, you'll notice here, right? He's travelling well. But Luke Morris knows he's got no other option but to hold his position. He has to hold his position and make sure that gap doesn't close, because if that gap closes, he's behind 3 horses instead of, he's in a bad position right now anyway. It feels like I'm doing a Sky Sports analysis on a ride. But right now, he has, really, when you're going around the corner, you don't want to be initiating that first push along, because the horse is just going to change its legs, it's going to get balanced, and the worst time you can do it is round the bend. But Luke Morris found himself as a bit of a pocket here, a bit of a problem because of this individual here. And so he didn't really have an option. He didn't have an opportunity. He had to start pushing along. And for me, you can't see it, but it's not ideal because it unbalances the horse. Because the horses, when they start getting pushed along, they need to change the legs. And that's how they get the power, the momentum, and the speed. And when you're doing it around the corner, that is not ideal. You know, when you're trying to, if you're running the race, and if you're starting the acceleration around the corner, that is not perfect. And I'm talking about the start of the acceleration. And so Luke Morris went from travelling really, really well to being off the bridle and being pumped along. And this horse here just went clear, actually pinched a few lengths. Let's go. I love horse racing. He's brilliant. Look, because also as well, it does take a few strides for the horse to get into top gear. Of course it does. So you need to go and just bump it along a little bit. But when you're trying to get in full stride around the corner, the horse it's one trying to corner, but then you're trying to ask it to do too many things at once. And so you're not going to get the momentum and the power you need to kick, to get that instant reaction, the kick. And so it looked quite one pace here, but it's not. It's only because of where the horse was when it first got bumped along around the corner. And that came because of this little jockey here. It's not Luke Morris. Well, Luke Morris, in an ideal world, if he'd have had wind mirrors on horses, he could have seen the horse trying to box it in. But these things happen. And yeah, in an ideal world, you'd like to see Luke Morris being a little bit more aware of his surroundings, of his space. But that you're asking a lot there, to be perfectly honest. Right, so let's go a bit further. And look, you can see, he just can't get balance, can't get his... Oh, I've checked, by the way, that horse is okay. I checked straight away. I paused it and wanted to know if that horse died or anything, because that was a nasty fall. But the horse is absolutely fine. Horrible fall. And look, this kick's clear because he couldn't ever get the horse balanced. His head's everywhere. He's not balanced. Look, Morris, he's really throwing the kitchen sink at this horse. But the horse never, ever got into the perfect stride when he started getting ridden along. And that was the issue there. I'm not saying the horse would have won, of course. I mean, look at that. He's a wide margin winner. Luke Morris did well to finish second, throwing the kitchen sink at him to finish second. I'm going to finish second on this one. Even if I've got to bloody carry you over the line, I'm going to do it. Absolutely fantastic. So that, basically, I don't like them hold-up comments because I don't think it was held up. I really don't think it was held up. But that's why you've just got to dig that little bit deeper for yourself. And as you can see, the in-play stats, because the horse travelled so well here, it went down to 2.52 from 6.4. This horse travels well, beautifully well, in fact. And Luke Morris is a really fantastic jockey at holding the horse together and appearing though he's got lots of horse underneath him. And he kicks at the right time as well, normally. But as we spoke about in that time, I just don't think it was perfect. It's just for the horse. It's got a blinkers on or something, some sort of headgear. So it's not perfect. I'm not saying that you should never kick around the bend, because sometimes you can get that trajectory that, I don't know what the word is, but you can really win a race from kicking on the bend. But for that horse, in that particular environment, he had no choice, but it wasn't ideal. Hopefully that made some sort of sense to you. I've obviously got loads of people disagree with that the way I see things, but that's just part and parcel of it, isn't it? The way we see things is different to every individual person. Right, okay, so that for me is a positive, a massive positive for this horse. However, like you always say, you need to check the competition, because the factors that influence this going from there to there are different today, because it's a different race with different opponents. So we need to check the opponents. And so what I've done here is I've also got, this is a races tab. So there's only 5 runners. And really, there's only, I've sorted them by Betfair current price. There's only these 2 you can forget. Oh, I am sorted by Betfair current price, have I? I have now. Right, so there's only these 3 that you need to really be interested in. Worried about, because this one is not affecting the price, 10% of the price. This one, forget it, 5% of the price. It's 5% of the market. It's not really. And I'm not doing it exact, by the way. It's rough. So these 3 are the only ones I'm factoring in. As soon as I saw this one, I thought, I've seen this one before. Because first of all, this morning, last night, I started looking at later backs. And so we go across the later back screen. This is ticks. Show me horses that have decreased in price by 20 ticks. Haven't decreased in price by more than 20 ticks last 3 runs, 100% of the time. And if you look here, Gelato, whatever it's called, you'll see here 3.2 to 3.25, 5.13 to 5. This is not a big move, even though it says 43%. It's only 15 ticks, and it doesn't take a lot of money to go from 31 down to 18 at all. It takes no money whatsoever. So this not a big move whatsoever. This one as well, 27 ticks, nothing of a move really, even though it officially dobbed. So these 2 are the ones that I'm homing in on. Chase Clear Leader. I've watched the replay of this. We haven't got time to watch the replay again, but basically I watched the replay of this, and this horse, it doesn't seem to settle, and gets ridden along before anything else. This is the why this horse, it pulled hard, didn't settle, and gets ridden along before anything else in the race, doesn't travel very well, and this is why this horse has terrible in-play stats. So if this horse gets ridden along before anything else, it's taking up a big proportion of the market at 4. So if this one drifts out, win or lose, it's going to, in my opinion, it maybe will drift. In my opinion, maybe will. In my opinion, there's a chance that this horse will drift out. I do think this will be the front runner today because there isn't much in the race. And the fact it's so much in the races in terms of early pace, the fact it's so it likes to pull hard and headstrong, then I do think they'll probably allow it to go forward. But as soon as this horse gets ridden along, I believe that the price will drift out, as we've seen here, just 1 tick, 2 ticks, and it went up 1 tick there. Then if that one goes out, then something's got to come in. And normally, if the front of the market, if this one's travelling well, then this one will be taking up the slack that this one lost. Again, the next one here, in the race is Mundersfield, and you'll see steady start, took keen hold, held up, slowly in stride, held up, held up. So the fact that this horse is held up, it's not going to be positive, is it? It's not going to be an absolute positive. So the chances are this one will drift ever so marginally, and so it doesn't really matter. If this one's, to be perfectly honest, so where I see it going, first of all, I see this one making the pace. And by the way, this, even if this doesn't happen, it doesn't affect my back to lay here, because I'm confident this horse will travel well and go down in price. But the reason that what I see happening is I believe this horse will probably lead the race, because if you look at the, there you go. I mean, the jockey, the trainer as well, he likes front runners. The way this horse travels as well. So I believe this horse will lead. I believe this one will go down in price first of all. I believe this one will go up in price, gets held up, and I believe this one will stay around about the same in play price. And then I believe this one will start getting ridden along, and that one will go up in price, and then this one will go down in price, and this one will go down in price, and ultimately this one will trade 30 to 50% lower. Well, of our stake, we'll get 30 to 50% profit. That's the way I see this race working out. Could be completely wrong about the early pace, but I haven't set the trade on what I think is going to happen in this race. I just believe that this horse will, because of the horse's in-play stats, the way it travels, I believe this will trade shorter, and the fact that these two are the way they are benefits the trade as well, which is important. Betting Nation, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been of interest to you guys. I'll do another video tomorrow morning when I am hungover. Yep, speak to you soon. Have an amazing day, and I'm going to go and play some snowball fighting. Bye!